Just remember to do a sound check when we're in. Hello viewers, welcome to round number 6, season number 3 of Tanso Racing Group's TCR Championship. My name's Rob Sutherland. We're joined by Rob Jackson, who's a little bit busy in the background at the moment. We've had a few internet problems. You're joining us more than halfway through qualification. We're 3/4 through qualification now, and we can see Mark Brown on the track in a car that's probably a little bit unfamiliar to viewers who've been following this championship, because we have a new car drum roll, or a new old car. It's our Hyundai Velostar. It's joining our TCR ranks alongside the Hyundai Elantra as well as the Civic. We can see Fraser and the existing Audi, which we've seen for the last couple of seasons. So we are bringing qualification just to the end slightly. I'm just going to look through now. We should be able to see a timing tower on the side of the screen. I think Fraser and Dan Mould, maybe Callum Regarton and Elliot James are probably the last people to set times. Elliot James has been in and out of the server probably more than our broadcaster, to be fair with you. Today he's having internet problems, so he's just running around for his outlap. And this is Fraser Garrity on the screen. He's currently 7th position, going to cross the line. No improvement. He remains 7th in that Insignia machine. And we're going to another Insignia machine of Elliot James, who we mentioned has, he's now on his first fly lap. So I think now's probably a good time to bring in Mr. Jackson.
Good evening, Rob, and apologies again for the technical issues at my end.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen 5 minutes before the start of qualification. So it's just the way the iRacing laws work, I think. 9 minutes 20 I'm seeing on my timing board. Have we seen Daniel Wareham take pole position?
Daniel Wareham. He's currently, yes, as you said, he's in a pole position at the moment.
Excellent. So that's a new pole position for us. The highest he's finished. He's had one podium this year. That's at Silverstone in the heat. So he's getting more and more near the pointy end, which is fantastic to see in what is, I believe, his second season in the Tanso Racing Group. And looks like second position currently is John Brown in the Code Brown machine. And Elliot James has, I think, settled up. No, it's just expired. Right, we're going to go to the grid. I think we're going to put the qualification results and the starting grid on the screen. And Mr. Jackson, do you want to take us through?
Yep, we've got Daniel Wareham there with his first pole of the championship, followed by John Brown in 2nd place, Andrew McKinley in 3rd, Derek Crowder in 4th, Nick Clibbins in 5th, Craig Walters in 6th, Fraser Garrity 7th, and Scott Malcolm in 8th. Carl Lukeman returns in 9th position, and Al Brown rounds out the top 10. Mark Brown is in 11th, and Stuart Gibbons is in 12th position. Then we have David Smith in 13th, John Johnson in 14th, Dan Mould in 15th, Carl Regarton in 16th, Elliot James 17th, and Brian Dudley rounding out in 18th position.
Whoa, so there we go. There's a grid of cars at 18. Good number for today. We're going to expect to see the cars of Mould and Regarden pretty much as they do, start from the back and try to make their way through. And we're going to see all the championship protagonists pretty much in front of them, really, and try and survive. We can see a couple of Audis on the grid. Nick Clibbins and Craig Horders, keep an eye on them on the 5th and 6th car. They'll get a fantastic start, as will all the Audis today. We're just waiting for Dan Mould to join the grid.
Yep, and he's just joined now as we say that, so any second now the lights should come on to hear the revs starting to rise in the cars, and the lights are on screen now. We've got 3, 2, 1, and away we go.
Excellent, so we're off. I think I may have seen a false start from from John Brown, I think, at the start, and we've seen the car of Daniel Wareham and McKinley, newcomer Daniel McKinley, to the championship. They're getting in through the first 2 corners nice and cleanly, looks like. They've just broken away. That was a bit of a hell of a start from John Brown in the Audi, which really bogged him down and caused a bit of a compression in the middle of the pack. And now they're going through turn number 3, down and outwards. And it looks like Andrew McKinley is hunting Daniel Wareham.
Yeah, he's got a good start there, gaining 1 position as he looks down the inside of Daniel, as Daniel just goes in slightly deep and tries to close the gap there. But Andrew's left the car in a good position, just as I hear some crashing in the background. But there was no major contact. It was just must have just been a bit of fender bending.
Well, we're going 3 wide into the hairpin now, the tightest corner of the circuit, and it was a bit hairy up the straight because there's a lot of toe on that straight, and the cars just had to sort out how they were going to slow down to get to that hairpin. But it looks like into the lead in his first race of the championship is Andrew McKinley in the OEM standard Halfords livery Honda. And Daniel Wareham looks like he's settled in 2nd place. Craig Walters returning to the championship after missing last race at Knock Hill. He's currently 3rd position now, defending for Nick Clibbins.
Just as we just see Dan Mould there, he's the closest car on the smallest gap on circuit as a second there. As we see who dives into the pits there.
That was John Brown. Yes, so John Brown did get a false start. He's had to jump to the pits, so he's going to go through. He is in a Hyundai. That was a little bit difficult to see at the start of the grid, but maybe my eyes aren't quite tuned to the Velostar's looks yet. I am quite attuned to this car, which is the Audi of Craig Walters, which is, apart from 1 race, his permanent choice of car, really. He's very much a specialist in it, and you can tell that because he's currently in 3rd position. So, John Brown I don't know if he's exited the pits yet. We have a little bit of a fight further back. I think there's a cork in the bottle going on, as Fraser Garrity has got past Nick Clibbins. And Nick Clibbins has got past Fraser Garrity. And then Fraser Garrity is thinking about getting past Nick Clibbins again. And up the hill they go. You can release the car quite nicely in this corner. Nick Clibbins just going to duck in behind, look for a bit of a tow. And is he going to look for a defence? Nope, that looks like line astern. Further back, we have Carl Lukeman also returning, and Derek Crowther. And there's a bit of a jiggery-pokery going on here. The Honda of Carl Lukeman, I think we saw him in an Audi last time. He's chosen a Honda. He's defending from the Velostar of Derek Crowther, who's hopped in to try the new car out. And further back from him, is Dan Mould, who is +7 already. Callum Regarton currently is +1.
Yep, so it's not the best of starts there for Callum. He's still got a good 17 minutes of the race to go to try and gain them positions. But I think deep down in himself, he would have liked to have been further up the grid than what he already is.
And some people probably will get on. Oh, there's a bit of a damage there. Looks like that was Daniel Smith just collected by the red car of Stuart Gibbons. And that looks like Callum Regarden's hitting the back of that. We can see that in a replay, I think. That would be pretty good to see that.
Yep, just jump to the replay now of Stuart Gibbons.
So we look at Daniel Smith ahead, or David Smith, sorry. He's just broke a little bit early. I don't think Stuart saw it. Bit of a hit there. There was an Insignia car going to the pits. We won't just focus on that yet. That's unfortunate. Bit of a accident. Looks like it was a bit of an anticipation problem with Stuart Gibbons, causing a bit of a knock-on effect. That looks like that's the champion leader's Callum Regarden. That looks like his first race done, I think. Looks like his heat race done. It looks like it will be starting from the back of the pack in the feature race in about 15 minutes time. And I think we're going to go back to live now, where we can see Daniel Wareham is defending from Craig Walters into the hairpin.
Yep, it's one of the closest battles on track here at the moment, and like I said, Craig, he's all over the back of Daniel now, and we say that as Daniel just disappears, so he's suffering slight connection issues as well, I think, there.
It might be one of those nights in England where everyone's connection's all over the shop. Today or tonight on Friday night, maybe someone's dancing up and down on the cable in the house. Who knows? Daniel Wareham currently 2nd position. Further back, there are purples being set all over the place by Dan Mould as he's trying to catch Carl Lukeman, and that's a battle for the ages, because I'm pretty sure that battle went on all the way back in the SRL days in the previous incarnation. These guys raced in with their TCRs on a Friday night, and we can see Dan Mould just coming out of the last corner now, which is humorously named last corner, turn number 13, and he's just right up behind and inside Carl Lukeman as he'll look to decelerate. just get the car up on the curb, on the apex, and a little switch back from Carl Lukeman. And he's automatically into an Insignia sandwich. In fact, it's Insignia Simtech, Insignia Carl Lukeman, Insignia. So that's almost like a Connect 4, isn't it?
Yeah,
Got 6, really.
Almost the Big Mac sandwich.
Big Mac sandwich, yes. There's a Big Mac chicken at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, chicken Big Mac.
No, we can't be talking about this. Be right back. Off I go. Yeah. Right, so Stuart Gibbons has returned to the pits. I think he's back out on circuit, and Daniel Worm is. I think he's fairly confident that Craig Waters can't get him under braking there, as we have a Hyundai Audi Honda combination going on here, and this is a Matrix machine. We've seen these guys join the series quite recently, and they're moving their way further and further forward as they get more experience racing with all these guys.
Yep, so once they get used to driving with each other, they know where they can push, where they can attack, and the best way to defend against each other as well.
Most of these guys, if not all of them, are on the same Discord channel, so they're very much aware of where everyone else is, and there's a fair bit of banter going on there. So it's can be quite a lively place at times. So it's a good way of also keeping each other in line, I guess. I missed out on an Insignia guy just looking behind. Then which one was that?
Behind Dan would be Derek Crowther.
Right, so the Orange Wheel Brigade is still going at Nick Livens, I think that is. Nope, there's Carl Lukeman. So Carl Lukeman, yes, Carl Lukeman's dropped back from Dan Mould to Derek Crowther, and nice little one in the sight. Looks like Derek's getting on quite nicely with that Velostar.
That's right. It's just as we see here now, Dan's still trying to get himself past Nick. So he's yeah.
Yeah, well, we're side by side ahead at the start again. Looks like Craig Waters is a little bit more confident now in under braking for Daniel Wareham. He looks like he's got that move done. Gene Simmons sticks his tongue out, and Daniel Wareham will be looking at now trying to recollect his car again, just try to get onto the back of the 007 machine, whilst at the same time not dropping back into Fraser Garrity, who's another guy that's improved immeasurably race by race. Yeah, it's a good little train going on here, nice and clean. Certainly a little bit more action than we saw a fortnight ago at Knock Hill in race number 1.
Yeah, that's right. As you're saying that, we just missed Dan there actually overtake Nick for position, so Dan's now plus 10 positions from the start of the race.
No team orders with the Insignia boys, so we'll expect him to have a bit of fun with Fraser. That's gone all season really. Fraser does like a pinch. He does like a bit of a battle with Dan, so we should be able to see that happen quite soon. And further behind, you can see the Sim 3D banner. That's Nick Livens in the Simtech machine. We'll be looking to take up any scraps as well.
Yep, that's right. It's always keep an eye on the cars in front, don't you? Especially into team battles and in a fun league like this, they'll give each other as good as they get, and could maybe, hopefully not, but could maybe take each other out and open up positions there for Nick to gain 2 more.
A bit of information. John Brown, who we saw had the jump start from second position on the grid, it looks like he's managed to do that do the drive-through and remain on the lead lap. So that's the Code Brown Velostar. Is on the lead lap, currently sat in the 17th position. It's about 8 seconds adrift of Scott Malcolm, who is uncharacteristically down the order in 12th position.
As we see there, Scott is actually in a Honda.
He is in a Honda. That's a break. That's a break for the ages. Did the clock up or something? Also, that's a fantastic livery, the Bonnard Castle Eye Test Brewdog livery. I believe that's the one I see as well. Is that the same one you see, Rob?
Yep, that's the same one. It's I saw the Brewdog, but I didn't get the Barnard Castle Eye Test.
Fantastic. Have I gone and have we completely missed the battle between Dan Mould and Nick Livens?
No, we mentioned that he's missed.
You mentioned that, right? That's still going. So we can see. Yes, absolutely. I can see now. He's still He's still trying to line up Fraser Garrity. He's not quite engaged on the back of him yet, and that blink won't do him any favours either. Although they are coming up to straights, and we'll go on board with Dan Mould now, I think, and we'll just see how he's going to line this up. Will we see him do the same as what he did to Carl Lukeman? I think he's a little bit further back, but there are a couple of cars, so there should be a little double toe maybe in effect here. A bit of snake as they go along the start-finish straight. No, he's not going to get that done. In fact, a little bit of a tighter line from Fraser just to go through the corner. This is this is a really, really good combination in the TCRs, and especially this corner here, which is I think T2. It just drops off camber and it can just pull you off into this gravel, which is counterproductive if you're trying to do a fast lap.
Yeah, Dan, he's still hovering around the back. And did he just? Ooh, sorry, I thought he just saw a little opening there. Then
yeah, it's a strange old profile, that corner. It's a increasing radius corner, so, and it's very cambered as well. So you can take multiple lines in, and depending on how the car reacts at the apex, can depend on how you get out of it, really. We looked side by side then. I think we almost missed that, but Dan Moll just went down the inside, got it nicely done. You can power out on the outside, and there's a bit of contact between Derek Crowther and Carl Lukman there, which is a bit of a shame, but we can still see the Insignia guys side by side.
Yep, looks like Fraser kept Dan behind him there, and luckily managed to get the inside line.
Inside lane line. This is one of the original circuits for iRacing. Free content, as is Summit Point in a couple of weeks' time, actually. So yeah, free content. Everyone knows it. This is actually the rookie short bit of the track that everyone drives for one of their first races. So it's a very easy track to drive side by side on. If you go right, you're going to be followed by a left. So you can go around a lot of this circuit completely side by side, which we have seen quite a few times this season in the Tanso Racing Group TCR Championship. Al Brown, we've not mentioned him much today. That's the Audi, the green SRL Audi, and he's lining up, looks like another Brown. That's the code Brown. That's got to be Mark Brown, isn't it? Yep, there we go. In the Velostar, looks like he's going to just try not to get that done. Maybe he's going to try and get in Mark's mirrors, scare him off the apex a little bit. You can see that Hyundai actually understeering quite a lot outside or after the apex, and there once again you can see he's having a bit of a problem. I think he's cooked his tyres, so this might get done as we come up to Atwood.
That's right. It's a fairly heavy braking zone, as you say, into a corner where there's multiple lines and you've got that heavy camber to help you around. As he tries to put the power down now to close the gap to Mark, but it looks like Mark got a slightly better exit there from out and he's ever so slightly pulled away.
And he's not going to have an air advantage as he comes into the hairpin, which is a bit of a shame, really, for Al anyway. But just under braking there, you can see the Audi does like to move around, especially as you stick the brake bias to the rear a little bit more. And looks like Mark's getting that absolutely covered off in most of the places. So I think this might be a bit of a cold battle for the next few corners. If we move to the start again, have we missed Mould and Geraghty again? Is this still happening? No, you finally got it done, it looks like. It looks like they may have been side by side for a little bit. There are some black flags being chalked up. I don't know what that's for. Might be they're cutting corners a little bit, maybe, and they're being dealt with by the stewards. But over the start-finish straight, I think there's just about 5 minutes left, a quarter of the race left maybe, and we can see the order is still Andrew McKinley. He has checked out in the lead by 4 seconds. And I don't think we've mentioned yet. Oh, yes, we have. I think we have mentioned this is the Honda liveried Honda, and this is a new entrance to the championship today. I was told earlier that he does. He's a friend of Scott Malcolm, who you see down in 14th position, and he was going to race a fortnight ago, but didn't quite get the paperwork done, so to speak, and the league paperwork. He didn't join the league in time, so he couldn't join the session in time. Can't join the session in time. He can't join the race in time, which is pretty much what we tried to do today, really. But still, he's here today, and this is his first round, and he's frankly, he's absolutely owning it because he's disappeared into the lead, and we can already see that 9 laps in, he's catching a back marker in David Smith in the yellow SRL machine. And well, it's a fantastic debut, Rob.
Yep, it's a great debut from him. As you said, he started 3rd position on the grid, gained 2 positions, and just nice, comfortable drive, driving off slightly into the sunset. His last lap was half a second slower than Craig behind him, but he's there or thereabouts on the pace. And I think he as long as he doesn't put a foot wrong now, he should keep this position.
Commentator curses. Rob Jackson won. Okay, we're going to keep score today. So Andrew, if that does happen, if it all does go Pete Tong, complaints please in a stamped address envelope to yes, Mr. Jackson. Excellent. So let's look further back at the Insignia car. It's bound to be an Insignia car at the moment. They are favour of the month around here. who's currently still in his trainer 3. Dan Mould, who is plus 11 positions. He has just broken away from the number 5 machine of Fraser Geraghty, and he is about 1.8687. We are going to hit a straight soon. We may as well just go on board with Dan Mould for that straight, so you can see a visual gap.
Yeah, just
there we
look
go.
at the timing tower as well, and the next closest cars on track to each other is Al Brown and Mark Brown.
Yes.
So we'll just jump to them, and we can.
Well, that's good timing. They are side by side, and it looks like this battle's holding back up again. Looks like Al Brown's just got himself sorted out, crept up to the back of Mark Brown again, and once again we have Brown on Brown action, and this is going to be quite interesting. I think the Hyundai might have it on the straight line a little bit, but obviously track position is very much Al Brown's, and as a result, he got the apex, he won the corner, and now we're going to see what Mark Brown has to offer with Al Brown.
That's right. He's not quite sure with the Velostar being a new car. We're not quite sure over the top speed advantage like the Audi used to have over the other 2 newer TCRs. So yeah, it'll be interesting, won't it? So if Mark could get back up or stick on the back of Al and fight for that position again.
I think John Brown's comeback has maybe taken a bit of a back burner, because I think he just pulled into the pits and has retired. So retired in 15th position for himself. At stat time, a fortnight ago, was a very rare occasion. In the Knock Hill Heat 1 race, we had John Brown finishing 4th, Mark Brown finishing 5th, and Alan Brown finished 6th, which, if you've got a tiny bit of OCD like myself, is neat and tidy, frankly. And it's nice to see 2 out of 3. It's like jackpot, isn't it? It's like the Brown jackpot, and you get 3 of them in a line, and you win a prize, hopefully. But quietly, they haven't. I tell you what, if they ever finish 1, 2, and 3, I'm going to break myself. But anyway, we see Andrew McKinley just making a little lap up on the yellow SRL machine. David Smith, once again, hasn't been here for a couple of weeks, so it's great to see him back. That's one of my favourite liveries. I'm not going to lie; it's a good shade of yellow. And I think that's another Derek Crowther paint job from memory. But Andrew McKinley just making that nice and clean. We did miss a SRL on SRL camera shot, which would have been one for the ages, I think, from the SRL guys. But just trying to make his way past now. In fact, he scares him off the circuit. Is Daniel Wareham, who we've not seen for a while, but that's one of the Team Matrix cars. Have we got another Team Matrix car out? I think is it Ryan Dudley who's the other Team Matrix driver? Nope.
Nope, Ryan Dudley is Tanso, or Tanso DMK. I will just check the list and see who the other Matrix car is. Daniel Wareham, which you said, and Chris Perry, which is...
Chris Perry, that's it, yeah, Chris Perry 4. Right, let's go to Dan Mould, because I think Dan Mould just sizing up his next opponent. And that's the last spot on the podium. And we are very slowly come up to the Barney white flag wave moment, I think. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that, because we're going to come up to the end of Heat 1 quite soon. We don't want to miss the end of that. So Dan Mould, I did think he was quite close, to be honest with you. He's not. In fact, if anything, Fraser Geraghty's just keeping himself in check with Dan. So we are going to see quite a close finish between those 2, I think. Scott Malcolm, 12th position. Is lining up Ryan Dudley, who we mentioned earlier. This is a Velostar, this is a Honda on Velostar action. So both guys will be learning these new cars and learning to see what they're going to be able to do with them. I did hop into their chat earlier, and I did see there was a bit of a discussion about where on earth to put the brake bias and these little things. I think we need to check on what our Barney's doing.
We just jump on board with Andrew now as he comes around the last couple of corners.
Yeah, so this is one of the very tight left-handers, followed by an even tighter right-hander that opens up.
That's right, and it's very easy into this turn 9 hobs to lock your wheels and just completely lose traction and end up going wide into the wide. Yep.
Yeah, a couple of corners feel very off camber. So this is back on the start-finish straight. Rob, your eyes are probably better than mine. What's Barney doing?
I've got my glasses on, and he's just stood there at the moment with not doing anything. So I think we've still got 2 more laps.
It needs to be fired. So I think we've got a couple of laps left. So let's go back to the closest battle on the track, which is the Mould Geraghty Clibbins battle. And there is also obviously a Scott Malcolm battle. In fact, I think we've seen Scott Malcolm pass Ryan Dudley, so we might have to see a replay of that. Geraghty battle it looks probably a little bit hotter than it is, actually. I wonder how Dan Mould's getting on with the tyres in that Velostar.
Yeah, it'd be interesting with them being, let's say, newish cars. It's people are still a bit unsure of how they're all running proper and tyre management and things like that.
Well, there you go. What an absolutely bogged down on the exit of that corner, and that's allowed Gary to get side by side with Dan Mould, and a bit of a flash on the lights. You know what? He probably knows he's on camera, doesn't he? And he certainly has a track position going into the hairpin now. We'll see what we're going to do under the brakes. What's better on the brakes? Well, Dan Mould absolutely monstered it on the outside. Has he still got the grip? You can hold the line on the outside, and Dan's going to try. I think he is. He's just going to send it. Nope. Looks like Fraser's got it done. Fraser might run wide over the little green rumble strip. You can do that because of the link to the circuit, and he looks like he's got that done. That was a fantastic move by the character known as Fazell, but that's not the end of it, I don't think, because Mould will be looking for any possible dive. And this is good. You know what? I keep looking at the Velostar, I keep looking at the Honda, and I keep thinking of like a Mark III Astra. Breaking me, absolutely visually breaking me, that is. Checkered flag, I think we have seen over the line. So, one race is first win for Andrew McKinley in the Honda. That's a fantastic debut to the series. Closely followed by the SRL machine of Craig Walters, third position. Goes to Team Matrix's Daniel Worm. And looks like it was followed by the Insignia guys, who gave us a good little show of Garrity and Mould, and the Simtech machine of Clibbins. Another Insignia car brings up 7th position, Derek Crowther. 8th on his return, Carl Lukeman. And there is a brown double for 9th and 10th between Al and Mark. And we're looking at Elliot James. He's currently 30th position. And ahead of him was the battle between Ryan Dudley and Scott Malcolm. And there are 2 cars remaining on the circuit. It looks like John Brown did come back out again. He's currently circulating the 15th position. And 14th position, we saw him on the screen earlier. That looks like that's David Smith.
Yep, so just watching Elliot now come around the last few bends before he takes the checker flag. And that'll bring this bring this first race to a close. Sorry, I can't even speak tonight. I'm
just looking back. We haven't actually seen... as Elliot's having a bit of a trouble going out the last corner. We've all been there earlier, especially around this track. I haven't actually seen Neil Stevenson in chat earlier, so I'm beside myself with worry and how he's doing. Hopefully he's okay. This is just his standard message. Please come back for next race. We miss you. But yes, we can see as we just go to the helicopter shot around Okayama, we should be able to bring up a stand-ins for you, and my colleague, Mr. Jackson, will read them out.
Yep, we've just the final finishing positions in the race. Andrew McKinley came first, Craig Walters in second, and Daniel Wareham in third. But as we can now, as you say, show the...
Are we going to live championship stand-ins?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do at the
moment.
Yes!
So live championship stand-ins, we have the power because we have... a system that works out things on the fly with mathematics and other technical things that I can't quite work out. But yes, we're looking at the championship standings. Fantastic.
And as we say that, these should now come up on screen. If I just hide all this. Sorry, everyone. It's there we go. So the live championship standings, give or take the odd point for bonus positions, should now be on screen. And as we see there, with that last race, Dan has actually closed the gap to come level with Cal on 285 points.
So Callum Regarton's loss is Dan Mould's gain. John Brown also looks like he was affected by that jump start, and he's currently in third position now. Fraser Garrity looks like he's in fourth with Nick Clibbins and Craig Waters. And Craig Waters has, remember, dropped a couple of races, so he's last season's champion, missed his first couple of races last round, and is still in sixth position. So it shows you how a strong season he's had so far. Right, so we're stuck in between races at the moment. is it's a good opportunity to take a quick break. We will advertise another race that's coming up in between. So feel free to read the details of there. But we will be back for the start of the feature race, which will be a 12-car inverted grid. And that should be, as typical Tanso Racing Group TCR Championship goes, really. The reverse grids are always very, very good to watch. So hopefully we'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back, viewers. We're just finishing the warm-up. We've got about 20 seconds left, and then we will grid up for the second race. I will take you through the grid standings when that does happen. We've seen the championship standings. We've seen how close it's going to get. We've seen our main protagonists, and we should be able to see a great second race. It'll be interesting to see how our new driver, Andrew McKinley, who won the first race, handles himself all the way down in 12th of the grid, racing against a bunch of guys he's never raced with before. And it looks like we're just going to grid now. Right, so I will take you through the standings very quick. In pole position is the 998 car of Ryan Dudley. Second position, this will be interesting, Scott Malcolm in the Honda. Third position, Mark Brown. Fourth position, his compatriot, Alan Brown. And fifth position is Carl Lukeman. Sixth position, Derek Crowther. Seventh position, Nick Clibbins. Eighth position, we saw them have a fantastic battle in the last race, Dan Mould and Fraser Garrity in ninth. 10th position, Daniel Wareham. And 11th position, Craig Walters. 12th is race 1 winner, Andrew McKinley. And 13th position, Elliot James. 14th, David Smith. 15th position, John Brown. 16th, JT Johnson. 17th position is Stuart Gibbons, and 18th position is the guy that collected him in the first race, and our championship leader, Callum Reid Garton. So, Mr. Jackson, this should be a fantastic race. We've got a flashing Ryan Dudley, who'll be enjoying starting from pole position, and we can just see they're finishing their gridding up. Now, I think we're just waiting for Scott Malcolm, JT Johnson, Stuart and Callum, and we see a green light, so they must have missed the start, those guys.
Yep. So that took me quite by surprise there. But Mark Brown there's got a fantastic start, getting 2 positions, and off into the front. Al Brown again, 2 positions. Carl Lukeman, another 2. So that wasn't the best of start from our pollster today, was it?
I think I know why. No, yes, you're absolutely right. That is an absolute drop from Ryan Dudley. He's dropped down to 6th position already. I was more focused on the fact that his front row compatriot of Scott Malcolm dropped literally just before the start of the race. I think that's why he gridded up quite quick, because he was suffering internet problems. We all know what that's about. So up the back straight they go, and we'll focus on the cars on the track at the moment. We're going 2 wide, 2 by 2. I think they're going to try to make it 3 wide. 3 wide never really works out well down here because there is a kink, can cause a problem. But looks like Lukeman in second position. Looks like he's going to solidify that over Alan Brown. Dan Mould instantly up in the 4th position at the expense of, I think everyone is passing John Brown from the looks of it. But we can see the Insignia cars holding the outside line. And we are getting by without much drama at the minute. We can all see everyone fanning about. It looks like that's Dan Mould going for 3rd position, straight early off the bat. Challenge now Brown. He's going to have the outside for the penultimate corner.
That's right, as we saw coming into. Mouse.
It's a bit of a long corner to try and undercut. It looks like he was blocked off quite early by Al Brown as well. It's a bit of a shame. Callum Reed-Garton, look, he's up +2 position, 16th at the moment. You know what? He's done a little bit better on the first lap a few times. I think he might be struggling with that car. I don't want to say that, but we can see someone else who isn't struggling with the car is Dan Mould, as he once again plays checkmates with Al Brown. A little bit of door rubbing as they go through the corner there. I think Al tried to squeeze him as much as he could, and that looks like that's done him a bit of a disservice because the fellow Audi of Nick Clibbins is trying to line him up for T number 4.
And of course, Nick there will have the inside coming on to Atwood Curve as well. To go back to you saying about Cal, he's not getting on with his car. I don't actually think he's on circuit at the moment, Rob. I think he's one of the cars that didn't quite make the grid for the final race.
Right, so yes, we are missing a few. And I've not seen them drop, to be fair, because we're missing what? We're missing Gibbons, Reed, and JC Johnson. Typically, my lifetime would tell me that. That's a hell of a move by Craig Ward, as we've just seen quite a late little weave out behind the 998 Hyundai of Ryan Dudley. And he just tried to do him under braking now, and he should have a little bit of a tough job getting around this next left-hand corner. Looks like he's going to have the runoff. And yeah, straight off the curb, straight to the inside. Great defence there from Craig Waters. Turns attack instantly into defend, but look behind. Following him through is the winner of race 1, Andrew McKinley. And he's just trying to just move himself through traffic. There was a bit of a touch with Ryan Dudley there. And there's another car behind, which is the Derek Crowther car. I kind of recognise that colour of their wheels now. I should have done that quite earlier, to be honest, since he has been racing this quite a little bit. It's quite a catchy car to see. But Derek Crowther just in 10th position. And that's a bit of a train all the way to Carl Lukeman, who is in the lead now. Did we miss Mr. Lukeman taking the lead?
Yes, we have done. We can go back and see a replay on that. So
I think at the moment we're just trying to see the guys move their way through the pack. I think I saw a bit of a braking effort from Craig Waters that maybe just backed him up a little bit. And we're seeing side by side Mark Brown with Dan Mould. Looks like that's going to be done as well. That's another position for Dan Mould as he follows Carl Lukeman through to the front of the grid. A bit of a contact behind, actually. A bit of a Robin with Clibbins and Brown as they get through.
Yep, it's opened the door up there for Nick, though, to have the inside coming in now to the hairpin in the 5th corner, which, in fact, we were swapping and changing there. But Nick there makes it through, goes deep on the brakes and takes the position past Mark.
Yeah, all nice and clean. One move to cover, one move to return to line. Fantastic respect shown, I think. In this situation, it can go quite wrong some of the times. Side by side, just showing his nose inside. Ryan Dudley's continuing to get shown off the line and move back down the grid again. I don't know if there's a bit of contact there. Looks like Daniel Worm has dropped as well. He's had internet problems and dropped off. So that's a shame. Last race, his 3rd position has left the server, which is a shame. He won't score any points today. So there's now 0 remaining Team Matrix cars on the track. And we're just looking at Mark Brown, who has a bit of a train behind him. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's pretty much a train everywhere, Rob.
Yep, it's they're all quite line astern at the moment. All cars within a second of the car in front of them. So yeah, they're all quite close.
And it's a little bit fighty there. One of the Insignia cars just tried to get down the inside, just slid along, and that was Fraser Garrity there. Another little touch with Alan Brown. He's just got his rear wheels on the grass. I think we've missed a hell of a crash there, and that's taken Derek Crowther. That's taken Al Brown. I think that's taken another couple of drivers. We're going to have to go look at a replay of that, I think.
Yep, well, I'll just Cue that one up now.
So from memory, I think what happened is Fraser and Al Brown just got a little bit alongside, a little bit of tap on the wheels, and that sent Al wide. And he was holding it on the throttle, and his rears just about hit the grass, which sent him on a bit of a trajectory. Rejoined the circuit because he had to, because the tyres were lit up. And I think that unfortunately put him into the half of Derek Crowther, which is a bit of a shame. So that's unfortunate for those two guys. Both guys feature in the championship quite high up. So they're going to lose a few points from that, I think. But further back to the start, Carl Lukeman is... there we go.
That was...
Back onto the circuit is... And Craig Waters is off as well. So there's all cause and effect. Two cars get together, they link up. They shoot across the circuit, and people just avoiding them really aren't able to control and straighten the cars back up again. That's big for the championship. That's big for the season, really. We've not seen lots of crashes like that. So we shall go back and take a look. And I think we're going to have to focus on what happened to Carl Lukeman first of all, Rob.
Carl Lukeman, I was just trying to find that in the events to see what...
there's quite a few events.
Yeah,
we can... Well, I think that's done Carl. I think that's done Craig Waters' race. He's called it a day. Derek Crowther, Al Brown, Ryan Dudley are in the pits. So Ryan Dudley got caught up in there at some point. But so here we can go out the corner. They go side by side. It looks like maybe the Simtech car tried to rejoin the circuit as he would do because he was running on the curbs. And I think that might have just been a bit of netcode. Yeah, absolute netcode. Just on the back of Carl Lukeman. That's as unfortunate as it gets, I'm afraid. Yeah, what an absolute shame, really. These guys have been racing so close all this race and all the last race. And, netcode just causes an absolute ripple, which is a bit of a shame for those guys. But we can see the Carl Lukeman's still on the circuit. He looks like he's recovered. Fraser Garrity is in third position at the minute. Mark Brown second. Dan Mould is in first. There's a 2-second gap already with Dan Mould. That has taken a bit of the fight out of the race because it was all very, very close until then between the first 8 or so drivers, which is a bit of a shame. But hopefully these guys can get together and have a nice little battle for the rest of the race.
That's right. The closest gap on the track now is between Mark and Fraser, which is just 0.3 of a second between each other. Oh, and I just looked over to the chat as well now, Rob, and Neil is there with his usual wave. So good evening, Neil. And I just heard Rob breathe a sigh of relief then.
No, you don't have to leave to find him. Yeah, no, it's all right. Just called off the guards, just called him off, mate. You're all right? How's your carer, Neil? Right, so back to the track. And we're looking at Mark Brown in the Code Brown machine. This might be, and this will be commentator's curse 1 for Rob Sutherland. This may be his highest finish of the season if all remains pretty much as it is. He has qualified quite high up, I believe. I don't think that's going to happen, actually. Look at Andrew McKinley sliding it. We've got a bit of a Honda on action now. Okay, Rob, so we do have a battle. We've got Andrew McKinley catching Fraser Garrity. And Fraser Garrity probably hoping to catch the car in front, to be honest. So this is going to be a bit of a battle for the next few laps. We're on board with Andrew McKinley. Let's see how he does it. Certainly in the last corner, that was a hell of a little slide under braking, which he managed to catch. So it looks like we're going to see a bit of a flamboyant driving style.
Yep, no, I think he's going to fit right in with this league, is Andrew. He's got the pace, he's got that little bit of aggression which is needed, and he's obviously got the skills to pass people and win the race as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and he's 100% record so far, which isn't too bad. We can see Mark Brown, well, that's the commentator's curse, coming up right off. Slid wide, going to the left-hander. Just a bit too greedy on the apex, and that touched Fraser Garrity. That's unfortunate to see that. Fraser Garrity has slid and dropped down just behind Andrew, actually. I should imagine Fraser's going to be driving a little bit hot for the next couple of laps.
Yep, that's right. It'll be interesting as well if Fraser does catch up to the back of Mark again. Will Mark do the honourable thing and maybe let him pass, or will he defend with all his might to keep him behind?
And no defence offered so far to Andrew McKinley into turn number 1. Unfortunately, just gone off the line there. Will allow Fraser back in, so we're going to see this fight on a little bit earlier than planned. And there is a car behind. I think that's another Brown. That's another Code Brown machine. And we might see a 4-way soon, Mr. Jackson. Certainly 3 wide. Close your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. This could get a little bit hairy. Fraser Garrity just moves over on Mark Brown, just touches him. bit of a turn, and that's Fraser off bin, I'm afraid, in the hairpin. That's a bit of a shame to see the battle end like that. Hopefully Fraser can rejoin. I think we might be able to see an onboard as a replay in a few minutes' time from the John Brown Co Brown machine, because we're now seeing on the screen John just trying to send it in front of the Insignia car, and he +1 for John, I think. Who is the car behind Mr. Brown, John Brown?
It's Dan Mould.
Dan Mould?
Yep, we have.
I thought Dan Mould was pretty much out in the lead.
It's,
what happened to Dan Mould?
I don't. We've definitely missed something there, haven't we?
Am I being that old man again?
Nope. Dan was easily out front, wasn't he? He really was out front.
Right. So yeah, we should probably look through the events to see what happened to Dan. Did he pull? Did he drop back because he wanted to enjoy the fight, or did he have a problem? I don't think he had a black flag. But yeah, that's a bit of a shame. We're seeing all sorts of battle now as Dan Mould just gets the opportunity to get a run on the two Browns on the start-finish straight, and just a bit of boxing there on the last few corners, and he just got it absolutely done.
I wonder if Dan had internet issues and he disappeared for a few seconds, because I can't see any events in the event logger just to say that people passed Dan.
No, I can see one at 11:57.78, which is Andrew McKinley passing him for first position. We might be able to see that one.
I'm glad you just said that. Yep, that's.
So further back we go, and yeah, it looks like he's significantly off the throttle there. So maybe he had a hardware problem. That has been known to happen. But yeah, that's certainly him dropping from first position to fourth position, really. Right, excellent. So that's that mischief. That's that. I'm using my word problem now. That's that. That's that mystery solved. We've got that done, and we can see that there are further battles ahead. And let's go back into live position.
Yep. So we're back live with Dan now, who's trying to close the gap now on Andrew, who is again he's out front. So again, not bad. Not bad performance from him, really, is it?
Yeah, new car as well. Andrew McKinley, will he make it 2 out of 2? That technically isn't a commentator's curse. It's a question. Will it happen? Anyone in the chat who wants to answer that, feel free. We have 14 cars circulating at the moment. We did lose a few at the start. 1 or 2 with connection problems, I think. And I don't know why the other 2 didn't grid up. Maybe they didn't get in time. Maybe they were out having a coffee. As we see the yellow car of David Smith. Just got a little bit of grass cutting at the back. Yep. He's currently in 6th position +8. Just about to lose that 6th position, I think.
And as we see that, Dan Mould's just set the fastest lap of the race with a 1:38.2.
And that's a full 0.5 seconds quicker than Andrew McKinley in the lead. So he's in the tow, and he's also quicker, naturally. So he's hunting down Andrew McKinley for the lead. I think Elliot James, we saw that pass on screen with David Smith, I think. Has David Smith retaken him?
He has, yes. As we see,
they're
very close to each other there.
These guys are absolutely hooked up. And to be fair to Elliot James, we haven't seen a lot of Elliot James in this season, Tanso Racing Group. So this will be interesting to see how he races.
Yeah. As we just jump on board now. David brakes quite early. And unluckily for Elliot, he's obviously just missed the braking point and probably focused on the trackside markers for his own braking point and just slightly tapped David at the back end, and as he runs slightly wide there over the curve as well.
Yeah, he's wheeling that car, isn't he, quite freely at the moment, but David will be enjoying that because that car's going to be a little bit shorter now as there's a bit of rear damage on there. Elliot James, I did actually, this is his highest so far. He did get a couple of 8th positions and a 9th position this season so far, so he has done quite well. Dan Mould is engaged with McKinley for a fight for the lead. We're going to see how this is going to be now. How's the newcomer going to take to Dan Mould and his hunting? Looks like Andrew's going to go defensive. And Dan Mould's just got a bit of a grip up on the middle of the corner now, and has got a good exit, but just sort of stunted by Andrew on the exit. Really, he's just going to try around the outside of corner number 2. It's a hard thing in these front-wheel drive cars to get them off of the curb sometimes. They do like to sort of suck their way on. Dan Mould looks like he's got track position for the lead. McKinley is going to try and stick it on the outside because of the camber. and get a good run up the line now. He's going to tuck in, or is he going to stay alongside? We see them side by side. What a fantastic exit this Velostar gets.
That's right. So it's a complete drag race down now to the final, to the hairpin.
And how's he going to do? That's much later on the brakes than Dan. As Dan let him have that corner, just to see if he can hunt him way. Sorry, if he can try and get up behind him for the last corner. 17 minutes on the clock. I think 16 minutes to turn the race. We saw this race run into, as I pad for time, Mr. Jackson. We saw the feature race go 9 laps long. We're now currently. Oh, sorry, this is the feature race. What am I on about? We saw the heat race go 13 laps long. So we've just got about 2-3 more laps left. Andrew McKinley is looking pretty racy at the minute out in the lead. He's successfully held Dan off, at least once we've seen on camera. So we're going to see him try that a couple more times. I think, looking back from the Kinley car, I keep saying McClibbins, don't I?
Yeah.
I'm Scottish fan Nick Clibbins, so I apologise, Nick. Muximtech Racing, Nick Clibbins, everyone. He's currently in 8th position behind Elliot James. Catching, I think, there was a couple of seconds between him and David Smith as they were fighting. But back to the front again. Dan Mould just trying to set Andrew up.
Yeah, I suppose with this track as well, you've got to think about, it's all right taking a position on one corner, but because they are, like you said, left, right, if you take the position and end up on the inside on one corner, the next corner you will be on the outside and therefore lose track position and be susceptible to lose that same position. And I said position a lot in that sentence.
Absolutely. And this is the fighter position for the lead at the moment. Dan Mould looks like he's just trying out where Andrew is strong and where he's not so strong. He looks pretty strong everywhere, to be honest with you. But for the hairpin, not another one again. I think Andrew is quite good on the brakes, which can be quite interesting. Dan likes to drive this Velostar on the front wheels as well. He's quite twitchy on them, which is a good trait to have. Maybe that's why he's quite quick in these little things.
But this is easily the closest battle on track at the moment. The next closest we have Elliot James. He's just a second behind David Smith, but they're both lapping very similar lap times. So I think if they both keep it on the black stuff, they'll both finish in that position there. But definitely, the action at the moment is definitely still with Dan Mould toying literally with Andrew for first position.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if John Brown is doing half decent laps behind, but he's not going to gain, but he's not getting caught either. As we see again, once again, Nick just holds the inside line. Do you know what? This is one of those defensive drives where all he has to do is place the car and see what happens. Really, Dan Mould's doing fantastic to just place his car and not drop back 2 times, because these guys are fighting, but they're not dropping out of the 38s.
Yeah, no, like I said, Andrew there no, the last laps were both in the 39s. Yeah. But
and further back, that fight between Smith and James, where James was literally pushing Smith along the road at times, said, let's just go. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, you've got to leave each other track, because this is going to end pretty much like the Garrity incident. And I think Dan will be telling him that over voice, I should imagine. It looks like Dan's now got position. His tyres will be absolutely cold as driving on there, which is why we saw him slide pretty much to a stop there. And Andrew McKinney is just showing his nose up the inside still. A bit more contact. Come on, chaps. They say Robin's racing, but that Velostar looks pretty new. And there we go. That's a bit of a shame. Yep. These guys need to sort that out. And that's, I think, why we've seen Andrew McKinney slow down. And we have a new leader, Mr. Jackson. And that leader is John Brown in the Velostar.
That's right. That opens the door for him. And Carl goes second position as well. As we see, Dan Mould drops right back down to 7th now. So yeah, I won't like to be flying the wall in Dan's room at the moment.
Yeah, so probably a bit of damage to Dan Mould's car. There are 8 cars currently running. There has been a high attrition rate, and that's over the start-finish. If you're going to do it on the white flag, and that's unfortunate for Dan Mould, but the winner of the race and taking advantage is John Brown. 2nd position goes to Carl Lukeman. 3rd position is Andrew McKinley. 4th position is the other Code Brown machine, Mark Brown. 5th position, that's his highest finish of the season, is David Smith. And a bit of a drag race to the line between Mould and James for 6th and 7th. And Nick Clibbins rounds up the last of the finishers for race number 2, the feature race. Right. I think we'll put the results up, but while we put the results up, I'm just going to pop around and see if there's anyone who wants an interview.
I will just quickly run through the results now. So in first position we had John Brown, followed by Carl Lukeman, Andrew McKinley in third, round out the podium, Mark Brown in fourth, David Smith in fifth, Dan Mould in sixth, Elliot James seventh, and Nick Clibbins coming home in eighth, and everybody else guessing connections issues tonight. Just while that's on there now, I will update the driver championships and see what difference that makes it now. And let's see if now these are showing roughly what they should. If not, I'll have them updated for the next race.
Right, so let me just go and find someone. A couple of guys are streaming, which will be means I won't be able to drag those up. But let me just I shall be back in a minute. Rob Jackson's going to pad for time, ladies and gentlemen, so I shall be back shortly.
Yep, there we go. We've got the champions. Trying to think of the word now. The championship standings up on the table, but these are provisional. That's the word I was after, because we have to add in the bonus points for pole position, and I'm not sure if they give fastest lap points as well. But as we see there now, it's been a terrible night for Cal, who has dropped from first position into second. Dan Mould has taken the lead of the championship so far on 309 points at the moment. Other movers that we have is Craig Walters and Daniel Wareham, both gaining 2 positions each, and Carl Lukeman has gained 3 positions along with David Smith, and the series organizer JT Johnson has gained 1 position in 16th place.
Mr. Jackson, I've gone fishing and I've got a bite.
Go on then, Rob.
And we found him. So we found in the second position finisher in the last race, Mr. Lukeman. How are you doing, sir?
Boys, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Tell us how race number 2 went for you, sir.
Race number 2, it was interesting. I had a bit more pace in race 2, but unfortunately, I cut across Nick ever so slightly and basically took myself out of contention for the win, which was unfortunate, but not really enjoyed it, lads. Really good battles.
How are you finding driving the new TCR cars?
Struggling. I haven't done any races since the last league race I did in like round 2, something like that.
I can answer that. Yes,
pretty
3 rounds.
rusty.
So that was round. Yeah, a bit rusty. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And how at your race number 1, we saw you started mid-pack and finished +1. How did that go for you?
That was all right. I think I was struggling towards the end. I was pushing it far too hard. Absolutely ruined my tyres. But again, had some really good battles we played, and a few of the lads up for, I think I got up to 6th at one stage. But yeah, good stuff. Can't complain tonight. I'll take that.
And how is the feeling amongst the group? That was quite a boisterous second race.
To be fair, we're just having a bit of banter, just talking, abusing each other in chat. You know, nothing, no hard feelings.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much the Tanso Racing Group through and through. We've seen that with all our interviews today, all this season so far. It's all been about the banter, the good times, the good fun. Thank you, Carl. Is there anyone you want to say hello to? Considering all of these drivers will be watching this stream back later.
I just want to say thanks, lads, for a good race. Again, Scrabbo and all the boys for organising it, and you two for the good commentary. So it's always enjoyable to watch them back, boys. Appreciate it.
Brilliant. Thank you, Carl. I'll drop you back in the pond. Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, lads.
Buddy.
See you later.
Thanks, Carl.
Right. Let me see if anyone else will want to pop up. We will actually say, we'll talk about Drive the Day, Mr. Jackson.
I would.
It's about that time, isn't it?
Yeah, I think definitely I would put Andrew's name up there, because his first race, starting third and managed to win, and then definitely second race he was on for a top 2 finish easily. But yeah, it's just that little bit of a tangle with Dan, which just dropped him down to 3rd position. But it's still a podium, so a win and a 3rd place is not too bad on your debut night, is it?
No, it's a bit of a certainly an intention to give. The biggest gaps I've seen, we saw John Brown finish 15th, start 15th and go plus. We actually missed that, didn't we? He had a hell of a climb through the grid in that second race. But we also saw him have an unfortunate first race with a jump start from the start finish. But that was a plus 14 race for him. I think my drive of the day is tossed up between John Brown and McKinley. Both had good races and a bad race. But I think it'll have to go to Kinley, I think, for that. And also, I will note that he did pretty much slow down to try and let Dan Mould back through for the race number 2 accident, which is always a gentlemanly thing to do. So, brilliant. A couple more bits of housekeeping, Mr. Jackson. The next round?
Yep, next round is at Summit Point in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, all the drivers should know that quite well. As like you say, it's a free content track. It's a nice small track, so hopefully it should give us some close racing, but not too close. I mean, I say not too close as in don't want many incidents and whatnot, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that one because it's one of my favourite tracks.
Brilliant, fantastic. We do have someone else for an interview, so I will drag him in. Do you want to? I'll let you conduct this interview.
No, you do it.
No, you don't. Okay, excellent. Checking out. Brilliant. So we'll just drag one more person in. Hello, Mr. McKinley. How you doing, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
Brilliant. So welcome to the commentary booth. Congratulations on your first ever win in your first ever race for Tanso. How did you find it?
I felt it quite amazing, actually. Thank you for that. And I would probably say apologise to Dan for that second race because intentionally I didn't mean to do that.
Okay. And yeah, so that brings me on to my next question. How you found race number 2 and that contact with Dan Mould? But up till then, it was a fantastic battle between you two. How did you feel with the reverse grid?
I found it quite interesting, actually. It makes it more interesting to see new drivers trying to get into a new rhythm and also trying to score a win for the championship.
Excellent. So this is your first race in Tanso Racing Group TCR Championship. Have you raced any of these guys before?
No, never.
Never?
Well, I've actually raced with Scott before, but actually not with like Dan Mould and none of the other drivers.
Excellent. And will you be partaking in the last 3 rounds?
Yes, I will.
Fantastic. So we should hopefully we'll be able to see you at the pointy end of the grid for that. Is there anyone, while we're on stream, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
I would say a shout out to all you guys for making this lovely series, and I would actually say a shout out to all the drivers and even to my close friend Scott Malcolm.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Andrew, and hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time in Summit Point.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Right, so the last piece of housekeeping is in the off week, because this is the Tanso Racing Group every 2 weeks is a TCR championship. In the other weeks, they run a MX5 championship. We've usually alluded to, which we have spoken to before. A lot of the guys that race TCR do race the MX5. That has finished, and there is actually a GT4 championship, and they're going to be running test races for next Friday. So if anyone's interested in that, the description of this stream, there is a Discord link. Feel free to hop onto that Discord, and that will be the Discord for the Tanso Racing Group series. And if you hop onto that Discord, you'll be able to ask about GT4 as well as the fantastic TCR championship, because if there's a time to join, now's the time to join, because it's free content basically next week and the week after. So yeah, feel free to do that, guys. Enjoy that. Feel free to like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff as well. Thank you for all of the guys racing and all the guys that hopped in for an interview. We shall see you in 2 weeks' time. And if there's any closing comments, Mr. Jackson?
No, none really, Rob. Yeah, it was a good night again, really, with the races. First race especially, and then the second race, I think with a lot of connection issues, just did drop down to 8 cars racing in the end. But yeah, looking forward to 2 weeks' time at Summit Point, and hopefully we'll have a nice big grid and plenty of good action again there.
Brilliant. So, adios, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see you in a fortnight. And my name's Rob Sutherland, and this is Rob Jackson. We'll catch you later.